Hello, everybody. Welcome to my weird, wonderful world. First of all, I want to thank everybody who's got me up to so far up to 520. If I knew who my newer subscribers were, I'd be giving some shout outs right now, but I don't have any at the moment. So once I do know about some new subscribers of mine, I will give you a shout out because I love you guys and I greatly appreciate it. Now, first thing I want to do before I get into the main subject is very quickly give a kind of a correction for yesterday's video of when I was talking about albums that have a flow. There was one album in there that I was not sure about. I seem to remember that it does have a flow, but when I played it again today and re-listening to it between the songs, there's not enough to make it a distinction that it's not a continuously flow. I'm talking about the Yes Fragile. Yeah, I mentioned that yesterday. Now, Nonagon Infinity and Devils in My Details here, these both are true continuous albums. There's no real distinction between one song and the next song that plays. They blend in so well. It's all you think of it as one giant song. Both of these, it takes you on a journey, and you don't want to break them up. You don't want to break up these songs at all. But but yeah, this does not count. So it's a retraction from yesterday's video. So take that as you will. All right. I am going to go into my what I have here for some albums, and they have to be true albums that are under 35 minutes. It cannot be longer than 35 minutes. For example, cannot be included in this list at all because it's 35 minutes and 20 seconds. So it's 20 seconds over the line. You're over the line. You do not count, okay? And I'm torn. I'm torn because for me, one of my favorite albums that's under 35 minutes, okay, is Tool Opiate. But now they are calling this an EP. Their official first studio album is Undertow. But for the longest time, okay, growing up with this and loving it right from the very beginning when it was only this album, I 100% considered this an album. It was an album. And who cares if it was only half an hour long? It was good that it was half an hour long. It quickened, this is for me the the pinnacle of a short album that I can put on any time, and and they even have a hidden song, and they still keep it under that 35-minute mark, well in, for sure. But is it, does it count? Does it count? Because again, they call it an EP. I know these don't count, okay? For example, like my two Pussifers here, but they put on their EP. It's an EP, like Donkey Punching the Night Away from Pussifer. It's an EP. Or Pussifer C is for, and I don't want to finish that sentence, but it's an EP. They put it right there on the label. Same thing with this King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard album. Okay, it says it right here. It says right on the spine and both places on the spine there that it's an EP. It's the Willoughby's Beach EP. So they totally do not count. I cannot put you. They're shorter than 30 minutes, but I cannot count them. Unfortunately. Okay, so let's get into some of this here. Now, for sure, like I was showing there's King Gizzard and the Lizard Wizard. They have these albums that are definitely under 35 minutes. This one here is actually under 30 minutes. It's less than 30. It's like what 20 about 27 minutes long. So it's a very short album, which is perfect. I still love it. It has all it is an album, and it has and they are songs. Even though it's all spoken word, it still counts 100%. So yeah, so get that out of the way first of all. The only KMFDM album that I know is under 35 minutes long is this one here that goes at 32 minutes and 59 minutes. I'll get that out of the way now. UAIOE for you and me, KMFDM. Yeah, it's a great album, but it's a very short album. Yeah, under half an hour. Well, under 35 minutes. And 35 minutes for me is sometimes the perfect time because, okay, you can get into an album that's going to be a long album. Like, if I want to listen to, like, if I want to listen to Lateralis or 10,000 Days or Fear Inoculum, those suckers are like an hour and 20 minutes long or near that. They they take some commitment to sit down and listen to them. I'm familiar with them and I love having them, but they're not albums that I want to listen to sometimes. Like I love that I have the Wii in the pod and I want to listen to it, but that's an hour long. Sometimes you don't have that much time to listen to an album. And sometimes having these short albums, they help fill in those gaps every once in a while when you need a quick album. Okay, if you're in a mood for if okay, like for example, taking a bath, yeah. Taking a bath. You have to take a bath and for me, taking a bath is a 40-minute process. By the time the last song starts playing on these short, like for example this here, Please Please Me, it's under 35 minutes or Beatles for Sale. That's under 35 minutes. Is great. Or even or have how about Rubber Soul? Rubber Soul. That's under 35 minutes. Um, I didn't include it in here, but if you're willing not to listen to the George Martin stuff at the second half of Yellow Submarine, you can just listen to that first half, and that's a nice little quick album to listen to. So I'm just not going to listen to the George Martin symphony stuff for Yellow Submarine and You're Golden. That's a nice little short album, all great songs that you can. Yeah, that's under half. That's under half an hour. That's a bonus one. Okay, so I mean, of course I have it, so I just want to throw that out there. Now let's go and talk about a couple of some of my favorite ones that I have here that are under 35 minutes. How about this being under 35 minutes? It's again a nice quick album to put on. It doesn't take up much time, and they pack so much of a punch. There's so much in those 6 songs. And yeah, okay, again, 6 songs. This is not an EP. This is not an EP, right? Why is that considered an EP of 6 songs? Okay, there's 6 songs. And why is that an EP? And speaking of 6 song EP, okay, what about this Sugar? And now this is just a box set of Sugar of Beaster with Copper Blue, and there's a live third disc of Alive on here, okay? But when I initially had these albums of Copper Blue and Beaster, they are separate albums. So Beaster 100% counts as an album. It's under 35 minutes for sure. And it has 6 songs. Come Around, Tilted, Judas Cradle, JC Arlo, Feeling Better, and Walk Away. And it's such a great album. So so yeah, I have to count that in there for sure. So when I want a quick album to play, I just put on that second disc of Beaster right here, and then I'm golden. It gives me just enough time. Like sometimes when I'm getting ready to go to work. Now I want to mention also that bonus tracks do not count. Bonus tracks do not count at all. So this has bonus tracks, but I know it's a half an hour, less than half an hour of just the album itself. So I'll program just the album to play, and it's seamless. It's like it doesn't. But it just when it gets to the last true actual song from the album, it doesn't continue playing into the bonus tracks. So this is a nice little quick fix when I want just a quick little album to listen to. No bonus tracks are allowed. No. So that's an honorable mention. Well, not honorable mention. It's actually, a true fledged excellent one. You just don't count the bonus stuff. And even this here has bonus material. I'm just talking about the albums only. Like the Soft Parade from the Doors, that's less than 35 minutes long. Strange Days, that's less than 35 minutes long. Waiting for the Sun, that's less than 35 minutes long. Excellent stuff, excellent stuff. Or if you're into the Hives, their albums are mostly under 35 minutes long, like 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 Barely Legal and Tyrannosaurus Hives. I need to get more. I need to get more. These are not even the best albums of them. They got better albums than these, but I need more of them. Again, when I need a quick fix of an album, yeah, these hit the spot for sure, 100%. And then, of course, you also have this is, of course, I have mentioned this before. One of my most recommended albums. If you don't have this in your collection, you should. Lemonheads. It's a Shame About Ray. Again, under 35 minutes. Now, when I put it in my player, it says it's 32 minutes and something something. Okay, but if you look at online, they're showing that it's at 27 at 29 minutes long. But no, it's just a little bit longer than that. But still, it's under 35 minutes, and that's what matters in this one. Or how about this? The only Black Sabbath that I can think of that's under that is also under 35 minutes long. So this 100% counts. Black Sabbath Master of Reality. Listening to that a couple of weeks ago in the headphones, the way I was feeling at that moment, yeah, no, that was a trip. That was a trip. And so I also want to mention these Devos. Although when you put them in, because it has extra stuff, like this Devo here, Are We Not Men? We Are Devo. I'm not counting the concert stuff, okay? If I just play the album, it's under 35 minutes. It's a short album, and they pack such a punch in just a short, less than 35 minutes. And now I have them both, okay? Both one on one, disc, of course. But if you count each one of these separately, these are both under yeah, why that's why they're on this, because they're both under 35 minutes long, which is why they were able to add a bonus song at the end of Peekaboo, the Dance Velocity version. So yeah. So they both would count. If you count them separately. Oh No It's Devo as one album, and you gotta count uh, Freedom of Choice as a second album. They're two separate albums. This is not one album, but each one, is yeah, less than 35 minutes long. And so I think that's it. That's pretty much everything that I wanted to go through for all my CDs. Now I got a few more minutes. I want to quickly give a ranking of a ranking from my top five favorite my top five favorite CDs from that's under 35 minutes long. Okay, what order do I put that in? I wrote them down there just to make sure which one I want at number one. That's gonna be at number one. What's that number two? That's number two. And then there's, oh yeah, that at number three. Mm, that at number four. And where is that? Right there. That at number five. All right. So yeah. Okay. Let's go from the top five, starting with number five. We're going to go with And these are all 10 out of 10s, okay? So I'm not judging how good they are, but it's just that they're my which yeah, the ones that are under 35 minutes, which ones do I love to play the most would be these five here. Now, especially the one at number one, you'll see it when I get there. I'll explain why. Yeah, Paper Mache Dream Balloon, that is under 35 minutes and it's good at number five. At number four, I will have to come with Beaster, and those six awesome songs under 35 minutes, and it gives me just the punch I need in there. I don't play that quite often enough anymore, but I used to play it so often. Used to play it all the time because it's such a short album. Um, Unfortunately, I wish I had this higher. Okay, but this is at number three, and I'm gonna have to go with "It's a Shame About Ray." That's at number three because there's a couple that kind of beat it right now. But for the longest time, this was one of my number one go tos to like an album under 35 minutes because it just fits that time slot that you need. Sometimes that's all you have time to listen to an album. You can't do a marathon, and sometimes even 40 minutes is that's too long. I'm gonna be late. So at number two, yeah, I can't believe I'm saying it because I play it so often. I actually play it often because I know how short it is, and it's under 35 minutes. And we're going with number one in heaven. That album, just six songs, it packs such a wallop and such a punch, and it's so like it's a genius. It's a masterpiece of an album. It's so genius, and that is their shortest album. Yeah, I freaking love it. And at number one, it has to be Two Opiate. Just kidding. I wish it was number one, but no, I can't include it. It's not what's number one, but I wish it was. Because it technically doesn't count, but that is my unofficial number one. Okay, but no, at number one, and it's more of a recent development. Even though I have heard it like when I was younger, and a couple of times I have heard this whole album, but listening to it in that way, a couple weeks ago. It really, this is a great short album. Now I'm going to be playing more often because, of course, its length is under 35 minutes and it just kicks butt. So that's what is my top five favorite things I want to be playing more often because they're so short. But even but even stuff like the Hives, again, they're short albums. I can just throw that on. I could not even include some of the Bad Religion. They were still under 40 minutes, but they were over a couple of them were over 35 minutes, so they couldn't count. It's like, oh, I wish I could put them in there but they are sometimes just borderline at the right. Sometimes if you can allow it a couple more minutes, those albums are great. But my limit for this video had to be 35. Otherwise, again, I would have put that in there. 20, 20 seconds over. 20 seconds over, and nope, you don't qualify. All right, I'm going to let you go. And everybody, you know what I want to say. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, you should please do because I will love you forever and greatly appreciate it. Don't be afraid to hit the like button. The like button is your friend. Yeah, keep remembering that the like button is your friend. It's our friend. And it shows such a gratitude to even watching my videos. So I am grateful. Comment. Tell me what of short albums under 35 minutes, or especially under 30 minutes. Show me tell me some albums that you love that is under 30 minutes that you enjoy, because I don't have too many of those, but I know I have under 35 for sure. So, okay, everybody, be safe. Take care. I will see you on the flip side. And please, everybody, have a great day, evening, morning, night, or afternoon, wherever you may be. Peace, everybody.